Hi class, this is a presentation I've created to show you how to use the Explain Everything app to present all of our content knowledge we've learned about ecosystems. So we've been doing a little things with this Explain Everything app the last few weeks, and it's all going to come together with this presentation as well as the content that we've learned about ecosystems. So the first thing you're going to do is select an ecosystem that interests you. I selected the ocean or marine ecosystem because it's something I haven't created a teacher model of yet, and I thought it'd be great to demonstrate this one. So you're going to pick an ecosystem, and the first thing you're going to do is make your presentation on the Explain Everything app. Then go to Google and search the ecosystem you chose. So if you chose deserts, Google desert. I Googled ocean floor, so I got a great image of the ocean water and coral reef at the bottom to show the plant life, but I chose to do my animals separate, and I expect you all to do your animals separate as well. For the animals, I'd like you to Google the animal that you want to choose, camel, tiger, elephant, whatever it is, but after you write the animal name, add in with transparent background. For example, I typed in shark with transparent background. Transparent means there's nothing there. So this shark has no white background, no ocean background, it's just the shark. That way I can move him as I want and it's not a big white box moving across the screen. So this is a great example of how to find that image. So I Googled shark with no background, clownfish with no background, tropical fish with no background. And that way we can move these animals in this application to make them swim and you can even have them talk to each other and pretend and use the way these animals can move to tell the story of, on this first page, we're going to describe the plant and animal life and the ecosystem and how they interact with one another, they how they have relationships with one another. For example, the shark is a predator and fish are the prey. So I would talk about that in this slide. I could have them have a funny little interaction with some dialogue if I wanted to, have them talk a bit. But in general, on this page, I'd like you to discuss plant and animal life as our first slide. And make sure you have the animals move and show me that you know how to use that part of this application. On this slide, I'd like you to discuss where in the world the ecosystem exists. I know this can be challenging for some of the ecosystems, such as grasslands that are located everywhere, but I'd still like you to show your best work and show that this ecosystem is located everywhere. For example, I would discuss how the marine biome is the biggest biome in the whole wide world, and it covers about 70% of our Earth. It includes 5 main oceans, and then I'd click on my marker tool and then go through where they're located. So the marine biome is the Pacific Ocean, the Atlantic Ocean, the Arctic Ocean, the Indian Ocean, and the Southern Ocean. I would discuss what these locations are like and how the climate affects life on this ecosystem. Make sure you use your marker tool and make sure you're recording so that we can see where they're located. You can even cross out places where they aren't located. That might be easier for the grassland. Like you could cross out Antarctica. Make sure the first thing you do is go on Google and you find a great map picture that displays your ecosystem in a proper way. Yes, everyone, that's me. That's me in the Caribbean. And this slide is all focused on human interaction with an ecosystem, positive or negative, because we have learned about the negative consequences of human interaction in ecosystems. But I chose to do positive ones because I've been in the ecosystem. I got to see it in real life. I got to swim with the fish. I got to see coral in the Caribbean, and it was beautiful. So I chose to do that, and I incorporated a picture myself. So if you have ever been to the ecosystem you choose to research, feel free to bring in a picture, and I'm more than happy to scan it for you to put in your presentation. But if not, you can always Google people in the rainforest, people in the desert, and then just put in pictures that way. But on slide 3, we are focusing on human interaction. For example, for the marine ecosystem, I would talk about how people everywhere use the oceans for food, medicine, oil, and other resources, especially recreation. Surfing, snorkeling. I wish I had a chance to do all those things, but I actually only had the chance to snorkel, and it was a great experience, and it was amazing seeing all the life inside the ocean. So if you need to, feel free to use markers or shapes to discuss things that you want to point out in your images. Make it fun, make it interactive, and record your voice and tell stories if you've ever been to the ecosystem. I think this is a really great page to make it personal if need be, or to discuss issues that humans have when interacting with ecosystems. This is only going to be a 4-slide presentation, and on this last slide, I'd like you to explain why you chose this ecosystem. Explain why you like this ecosystem so much. Create a visual representation of your ecosystem in your own way. It can be a drawing, it can be a chart. You can go ahead and use the marker and, draw out the ecosystem, the grassland, things like that. You can incorporate more animals again. You can make a story. Anything you want to do is a final summative thing of why this ecosystem is important to you, why you care about it, and why you chose to make a presentation on it. You can use that. Click on the shape tool. You can incorporate humans. You can put in a house. Oh, that's not the right color. This is a fully creative page. You can do whatever you would like with this page. I'd prefer that you all get creative. You can tell a brief story, anything you'd like on this page, but make sure you explain why you chose the ecosystem you did. I really think that's important for our learning of ecosystems. There's a ton of things to do. You feel free to play on it. You can even type some things on here, whatever you would like to do. It's all up to you, but make sure on this last slide that you incorporate why you chose this ecosystem and just some final ideas of our unit, how you felt about it, and what you've learned in general.